Hello everyone, it's Heidi Smith from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based here in the Midlands in England. So this one is an oldie but a goodie. These have been around for, oh gosh, as long as I can remember, but I suddenly realised I hadn't actually shared this with you, and they're so useful, particularly in the run up to Christmas. If you're looking for things to pop some sweeties in, have as table decorations. I was looking at some ideas for a get together I've got with 10 other ladies this coming weekend. And I thought this would be a great way to pop some things in, easily accessible. And as you can see on the side, really pretty, just decorated with a bit of DSP. Really quick, really easy. All you need is a sheet of cardstock and half a sheet of 12 by 12 DSP, no more than that. So let's get on with the project. So I've used some old ribbon on this, just some retired ribbon I happen to have. You could use whatever ribbon you wanted, but I've just got some lovely paper, which I'll be quite honest, I really haven't used very much. I received it as a prize in a raffle, and it wasn't one that I would have naturally bought. I don't do much green, but this one is really quite lovely. You know, it really is pretty, and it's kind of grown on me. So double-sided as always, and so you've got quite a light sort of dark one here. This is the other pattern, and this is our next one. And then we have this one, which actually I rather like this one, and a sort of a geometric design on the other side. And then the final one is this pattern, which reminds me of olive tree leaves, and again the geometric pattern on the other side. So not one I would naturally have gone to, but now I've got to, well hey, you know, we'll give it a go. And the nice thing about this is that it is using all the greens, and the colours you've got in here are garden green, mint macaron, mossy meadow, purple soft sea foam, and whisper white. So lovely range of colours. I'm going to use some mint macaron, so I'm just going to use a sheet of that. That's all you need. So I say a sheet of cardstock, half a sheet of 12 by 12, and your trusty trimmer or scoring tool. So the first thing you're going to do is trim this. I'm going to work in centimetres, and I'll pop the inches on my blog as usual. Just say that it does work really well in either, and you could easily vary the size slightly as well. So mine is UK A4, which is 21 centimetres wide, so I'm just going to trim that to 21 centimetres long. Simple as that. And for your scoring, you are going to score at 7 centimetres and at 14 centimetres. Turn it once and do the same again. 7 and 14. Now I'm going to stand up because we're now going to do some diagonal scoring. So if you line up your 2 points, you're going to score diagonally across these two outer squares. You probably can't see the second one, but I'll show you on the top one. So just from the top down to where those lines intersect, just here, and the same at the bottom. And then again, turn it once and do exactly the same. So line up the points there, you can see my messy desk, lining at the points at the bottom as well. And you just score the diagonals on those outer ones. If you were to score all the way down, it doesn't matter too much, you know, you can manage, we can manage with that. Then you're going to cut 2 strips from your DSP while you've got your trimmer out. You're going to cut one strip that is 6.5 and one strip that is 6 centimetres. And so you're going to cut 4 squares, which are 6 by 6, and then you're going to cut those in half diagonally. So 1, 2, that's our third one, and this is our fourth one. Okay, and so those are going to be cut in half diagonally. So this is where I remind you, when you're cutting on a diagonal, what I tend to do is I start in the middle and go up and down, because that way I don't bend the point. If that makes sense. So actually, yeah, there's no stamping in this today. I mean, obviously you could add a tag if you wanted to. With these ones, I just wanted to make them as quick as possible. Pop that one there. And I say they're a great little treat holder. And the run up to Christmas, we all want things that are quick and easy to do, don't we? Well, I know I do. Okay. So those are our triangles. Then this is our 6.5 centimetre piece. So we are just going to cut this into 4 6.5 centimetre squares. Okay, so that is all our cutting and trimming done. So if I bring my piece of card back in, just fold and reinforce those score lines. I do my straight ones first, and then just do those diagonal ones. So just fold those out, and again go with the score line first, and then you can come back in afterwards, because those are actually going to fold on to the inside like so. Okay, and on the first one I did, I actually only put one hole in, which was a bit of a mistake, but once I'd done it on one, I had to do it on all of them. So in a moment I'll be showing you what I did there. So our larger squares are going to go on the outside of our paper, of our card even. So I'm just using a tape runner here. I'm trying really hard to use up all my old fast fuse. I have still got a bit of a stockpile, so you'll see me using this instead of my snail for the moment. But okay, so this is these are the outside panels. So it's really pretty. It picks up that lovely mint macaron in the design. This is where I usually get myself stuck to things. And then our final panel. I had intended to put a little tag on this, but I've realised I've left my stuff. I was playing around with this downstairs while watching the telly, and I've left the stamp set that I was going to use there. So with these, just pop our... you may well find it easy to use wet glue with this triangular sections, just because it gives you a little bit more wiggle room. And I've done that off camera. That was really helpful, wasn't it? I dream of the day when I get my craft shed and I have a proper filming space instead of trying to kind of cram it on my desk. It'll come. What I usually do with triangular pieces, actually, you've probably seen me before, I often sort of put them together, and so that I can kind of get into those corners as well. So that's often another way of doing it. I'll try and do that in the next one. So what I mean is I put them back together here. And then down those, there you go. And then you just, if they're not stuck to you, as mine tend to be. It's funny, I don't work with green. It's not a colour I'm naturally drawn to. I tend to go towards pinks and plums. Perhaps I ought to use a bit more green. And that's not strictly true. I do like the sea greens, the kind of coastal cabanas and Bermuda Bay and those kind of greens. But I think that's in part because they just remind me of the Greek islands, which I love. It's have lots of happy memories of the Greek islands. Lovely, lovely people, and we're very fortunate to be able to go sailing there. Most years, I suppose, we've managed it in recent times, and it is just fabulous. So once you've done that, so that's our two sides done. I'm now going to punch a hole just in the top of each of these sections. You don't have to be precise about it. Just to try and keep away from the edge. And you might need to punch depending on the ribbon that you're using. I mean, I could be more precise with this by folding that up. What I mean is you can fold it up like so and then punch through to get an exact match, which I probably should have done. There we go. So literally punch one hole, fold it over together, and then line up and punch with your other one. Okay, so now you've done those 4 holes, it is as simple as grabbing some ribbon, and I've just got a fine white ribbon here, which is actually a retired Stampin' Up one. Probably about 24 centimetres is all you need, and then you're just going to thread that. I would recommend a fairly fine one, and if you've got one that doesn't fray, that makes life an awful lot easier as well. Okay, so you just need to kind of work that around, and I find if you do one and kind of get it to about, obviously didn't stick that bit down very well, did I? Okay, about halfway, and then you can go ahead and do the others without having to thread it through too many times. So just put that together like so. Then this one will come through here, so just put that in. And thread that through. And this is the one where I've got a bit more length left, so just twist that till it's flat. Pop that in, and I say these, if you want, you could obviously do these with 12 by 12 paper as well. I've deliberately done them a little bit smaller because I want to put some sort of little wrap sweets in there, as you've seen, ready for our tables. And then you draw that up. I did it so that there was about an inch kind of gap thereabouts, because I wanted it to, you can draw it all the way, but that makes it quite steep. I rather like the way the basket kind of splays out. In fact, what I should have done, there we go, to make it easier to access your sweeties, if you just put it through that 4th one like so. There you go. Gather it up. You can always adjust it afterwards, but just tie it in a bow. That then pops down one side, and there you have a pretty little basket ready for you to pop your sweets in. As you can see, I use my little love hearts in here. Lots of space for lots of treats. I hope you're getting around to making one. Excuse it being so dark. It is really dark and dingy out. Really dreary November day. Hopefully this has cheered you up and gives you a bit of inspiration to go ahead and create your own. And if you'd like to purchase any of the products from that you've seen today, pop along to my shop at flutterbyheidi.co.uk and follow the links, or pop along to my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, and the paper's called Garden Lane. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye now.